Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening. Top of the evening to ya. Look at that fine American Eagle wear. Man, been a while since I had some American Eagle
We're
in my
not
life.
sponsored. We're not
That's
sponsored. They
true.
don't get name drops. That's our. I don't.
Well,
It's
if
too late.
Champion wants to send me uh, another sweatshirt, then I would have two sweatshirts. It's a little
Sweet.
bit of a norm cadence there.
Mm,
Hmm. Guess that's where I went with that. How are you, Jeff? I feel like I spend too much
Uh,
time
you
podcasting
know.
with you, and I don't even talk to you. You know?
So, uh, I just got back from out of town, and you know, enjoyed a nice relaxing weekend, and then came back and saw my primary doctors suddenly because while on vacation, I acquired an infection. So that was fun.
Dude, you're like
Yeah,
magical at that.
yeah, yeah. So that's neat. So yeah, got some antibiotics, cream as well as pills, and so I have to do that for the next 2 weeks.
Do you know how you got the infection? People are dying
We're
to know.
not, we are not certain. He alleges that I got bit by something, and then
Oh,
that got infected. So yeah. So what started as a tiny skin irritation, which of course doesn't throw me off because I have very sensitive skin, so I'm itching all the time. So I'm like, all right, whatever. And then it got bigger, and then it got bigger and redder, and I'm like, okay. So this morning I woke up and I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and call my doctor's office and have them take a look at it. I'm like, this is pretty sus. And then yeah, he's like, I'm pretty sure I can see where an insect bit you. He's like, and then it just became infected. He's like, nothing you did
dude,
wrong. He's like, you just
oh
became
shit.
infected.
I think I had something similar, and that's why I admire what you did, because I did not call the doctor. Instead, I just grew a third nipple on my back for like
Hmm.
2 weeks. That's basically what it was. And I actually took a picture of it because I thought it'd be funny to say, huh, I want to
Okay.
show this to somebody and tell them it's my nipple. And they'll be like, ew, that's gross. And I'll be like, no, it's just kidding. It's a bite of some kind or poison ivy. I don't know, but it was like under my shirt, like
Okay.
right on the side of my ribs.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Jeez, you guys, I'm real sorry. I can't find the picture. I hope you guys don't mind.
Oh.
Picture, picture a third nipple on the side of your back. And it looks exactly like that. And it
Well, at
was
least it
pussy.
didn't get infected though. It did.
Yeah, it was
So
pussy.
so like so that's day one. That was on
Oh hell yeah!
Saturday.
I mean,
So then
I get the spirit of it.
then here's Sunday. Little redder, and
Holy
then
fuck!
come on. Well,
I
yeah.
can't see it
So
well. I
like
see something very red.
yeah. So it basically just keeps getting redder and darker and everything, and I'm like I itch a lot, and I have a lot of like skin irritation. My bouts with sumac last year, legendary across the podcast world. Um, but I'm like this is even different for what I usually deal with. So like go ahead and go see the physician for this one. And he's like yeah, he's like I applaud you for coming in when you did. He's like this happened like he's like you noticed it 2 days ago. And I'm like yeah. He goes good assessment.
You
He's
you
like
dead.
normally what I see is that you'd come in like next weekend or like this coming weekend or whatever. He's like, and you'd have 102 fever, and I'd have to send you to the
Holy
ER to
shit!
get like to get what was it like a drip bag and everything. He's like yeah.
Wow.
He's like infections usually people screw this one up. He's like, and then if you're feeling sick, he's like by the time you get a fever, he's like, that means the infection has spread to where it shouldn't be spreading. He goes, and then at that point, he goes, I don't have anything on hand to give you. He goes, I have to send you to the ER. So I'm like, yay, just antibiotics. Hopefully that's the the resolution, but
Wow.
I mean,
So you could say
overall,
you're
I'll still take not having infections over having infections, if we're being honest.
it's a toss up. Yes,
It is.
you could say your trip to Rehoboth was a real beach.
Son of a beach. Cue the music.
I've confused my priorities. Isn't it supposed to come to me? Yes, this is how it's meant to be. Every little thing flashing on a screen. Age of convenience. My daddy worked hard for this.
Was it like fantastically chilly there and windy like it was in the Northeast elsewhere?
No
'Cause
way.
I couldn't imagine.
It hit 80 yesterday.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. No, it was a fantastic weekend to go, to be honest with you. Just ended up being sunny, and I think Saturday got up to like 75 and Sunday got up to 80. Exactly.
It's been like in the 40s here. I'm not lying to you, Jeff, because I don't even. It's not even about the content because I know people think this is a lie, and I'm just making it up for the show. But my heat just turned on for the first time this year, like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, I turned
And I
on
could
my heat.
smell it.
Thursday morning, I think I turned, or no. It might have actually been Friday morning I turned on the heat. Because right now we're having warm days, but the nights are dropping. We've already had nights hit into the 30s.
Mm-hmm. Same. And I love a good cracked window. And it's
Not
been
anymore. We're
chill. I don't know
past
what
it.
it's set at, but pretty low.
Yeah.
But it's happening. Jeff, it's happening. I just thought about it when I got home tonight. Outside the wetness and it's the smell is in the air. The smell of the gray. You can smell the gray.
You can
And
smell
there's
the
just too much
gray.
lighting inside, Like I don't like a lot of indoor house lighting. I don't like big
don't
lights.
either. I
But
like natural light.
the gray is creeping inside. It's that, the chilliness, just the dreary, the dread. It's all happening really quickly. The thing well, I got the light, so I keep showing it to people at work. And I think they're like, what is it? What is that for, like, seasonal affective disorder thing? I was like, yeah, it's fun. But
Yeah.
But I don't really have it. This is just for fun. I just
Yeah,
like a
it's-
lot of light.
Isn't that funny? Like, I was like, no way these exist, so I bought one.
Oh
And I was like,
just so I could
man,
show
I
you
gotta
guys
show it-
how
I gotta
silly it
show
is.
everyone how ridiculous this concept is.
But I do love sweater weather. Let's go.
Mm.
It is nice to not sweat to sleep, which I will do if it's over 55 at any point. I will wake up
Okay.
some kind of sweat, no matter what. But now it's real nice. Got myself a new heating pad too. I got a new. Every time I get a new heating pad, I upgrade the surface area of it. So this one, the last one I got had a cowl, which you had talked about, wrap it around like a cape and down. This one capes, goes all the way down to the waist, and it's got like a little bathrobe tie in front of it. So essentially, I could wear it around if I wanted to.
A heating pad? You
Like-
can wear the heating pad around?
Mm-hmm. Just tie it up. It's real nice.
Pretty extravagant.
Um,
Can you sleep with it? Is that safe?
I do. I love falling asleep with the heating pad, but I can't for too long. I mean, I'll always wake up and take it off at some point because it's hard to really go that long with it. But it's a great way to fall asleep, but not stay asleep. And I just it reminds me of all the money I spent last month. That was one
Okay.
of the things I was thinking about today because when I left work and I got groceries, do you ever do this? Do you ever lump, or does it work out this way where like all of your toiletries, like your shampoos, your Q-tips, your whatever, like I got some sinus rinse because it's that time of the year, laundry detergent, stuff like that, cleaning products. Like once in a while, it's like a kind of a leap year celebration where I need all that stuff at once. Somehow it all comes together. I was like making the
All right.
list. I was doing that this week and I was like, oh no, toothpaste too? Really? Like, wait, why is this all happening at the same time? And once you go through that checkout line, you're like, $180? I got 2 things to eat. That was all I got.
Oh, it's
like,
a
fuck.
nightmare.
Yeah. So I went through that today. And then I checked my accounts, and I was like, oh shit, what have I been doing? And I had a great September, a very rowdy September.
Okay.
Well, it involved a trip and some Amazon expenditures, buying a new hockey jersey, heating pad, a new pillow. I kind of freeballed it last month.
Okay.
And so I wasn't like not suspecting that, but it hurts a little bit when you look at it, at the result.
When it really happens. Right.
Yeah.
When you look at it and you analyze, you go like, I know that this happened.
Yeah.
But seeing it actually happen.
Yeah. So hopefully those things are super comfortable and bring me happiness and joy.
Comfort that's an easy sell. Like, meaning like, you can sell yourself on being like, I got this to be comfortable, and being comfortable is an important thing. So, as long as you use the things and it makes you feel comfortable, then it's absolutely a good buy.
Well, it's fair to blame my therapist, who was like, yeah, when you're there and you buy merch, you got to buy merch, like really live it up. And I was like, I haven't told you about how I spend money, have I? I was like, okay, like, perfect. Yes. I'll do what you say.
Right.
Let me write that down.
I'll do what you say, but I'm not sure you know what you're saying. So
yeah. And money. Speaking of, did we announce to the public, the world, that we have another trip planned together?
No, I don't think we mentioned anything.
I think so. For the first time in 22 years, when it happens, we will go see Metallica together. Where is it? Which stadium is it at? The Phillies or the
Lincoln
Eagles?
Financial. The Eagles.
Eagles. Yeah. That'll be pretty
Lincoln
excellent.
Financial.
A Friday night and a Sunday night. A double bill.
Correct.
No matching set list or whatever they call it. A no repeat weekend. A 2 for Tuesday.
And with two separate, 4 opening bands, 2 each night.
Are they separate each one? That's awesome.
Yes. So 2 bands will open the first night and 2 bands will open the second night. So it'll be my first time seeing
Pantera's
Pantera.
one of them, right?
Mm-hmm. And we saw Limp Bizkit open for Metallica
Wait,
21 years ago. Yeah, Limp Bizkit's one of them. And we saw them open for Metallica in 2003.
Are you serious? Bury the lead. We're going to go see Limp Bizkit together. Jesus Christ.
Again.
Wow. Holy shit.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle that.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen any clips of them playing in the last year or so?
I saw them in Buffalo. Whatever the last tour was before 72 Seasons came out. So that'd have been maybe 2020. Was it 2022 or
Wait, you saying
2021?
Metallica or Limp Bizkit?
Oh, you're asking me about Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
No. Well, I know Fred Durst now looks kind of like Santa, like
He does.
a crusty old
big
man,
beard,
like
afro,
big gray beard. Yeah.
And I think from the videos I've seen, he wears like a 1990s tracksuit around the whole time.
Good.
It's funny because I don't know how they got like Wes Borland to come back in. I love how out of all these bands in the 90s, there's always like one member of them who's like too cool for school. Like it was like, yeah, I wasn't really into it then. You know, it wasn't. I'm a real artist, so it was like this was just more for like the commercial, for the money, success. But I know nobody's listened or explored my art in the last 20 years. But yeah, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah,
this is a lot easier.
Yeah, because when we saw them in 2003, Wes Borland had left the band. I was very new. The guy Mike something that replaced him, but we did not see Wes Borland when we saw Limp Bizkit. So Wes Borland back now. I don't know if he'll wear like a Tanuki Mario suit like he used to do, like with face paint and everything. That remains to be seen. I'm guessing DJ Lethal is still their DJ.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do not know. But boy, I mean, to hear Roland live in 2025 will be such a treat.
I mean, I don't know if I want that. I don't know.
I want to see it. I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm excited because it's happening. Like, I'm excited because it's happening, but not more ironically than actually, which I would have been
Yeah.
as like a teenager seeing them. Because
Well,
I
we've
liked
got-
Limp Bizkit when Limp Bizkit was around. Like, I liked their music. Like,
We
that
all
is
got
what it is.
sucked in to the nookie. We all
Yeah.
did. To the chocolate
mean,
starfish. We were
right.
all in. Because it was so, rap rock. It was a thing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, break stuff live. That's gonna be
Mm.
I already know somebody's gonna be way too into that. More than they should be. Like
Oh yeah.
somebody in the crowd is gonna be
Someone's
like,
gonna be
I've
like, this
been
is my
waiting my
chance.
whole life.
This is my chance to like throw down. I'm like, yeah, but you're 50 now, and it's really weird that you're doing this.
Do you think there's a young person who will discover Limp Bizkit at this show?
There will be at least be one, and I hope we're sitting near them.
See,
I
now I'm
want
glad
there
we're in
to be, like,
seats.
I want there to be like a 10, like a maybe like a 10 to 15-year-old child being like, Dad, what is this? Be like, well, son, this is Limp Bizkit. They're
This is how I met your mother.
pioneers. Right. Mm-hmm. Right, hun? Chocolate starfish, right? Huh?
Huh? Dude, I did not know that. That's very exciting. I do know that Pantera, obviously, half their members, but it should be pretty cool because Zach Wilde plays guitar for them
Zakk
now, which I think
Wylde,
is a very,
yes.
very good Dimebag replacement.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
the important part is no one's gonna complain in the metal and rock world that he replaces Dimebag. It's like talent-wise, he's obviously capable, but it's also too just like the street cred of Zach Wilde. No one's gonna complain about that. Everyone's gonna go, yeah, okay, I'm in. That's cool.
Plus, he's got the vibe. He's got the Southern vibe.
Yeah.
He'd sport a Confederate flag tattoo, I'm sure, or something like that,
Yeah.
without a
Yeah.
problem. Or at least
Hopefully
a
Phil
decal.
Anselmo doesn't take the reins on talking too much. I know you're the vocalist, but do us a favor and keep the artist and the,
to say.
yeah, keep the
Like one
artist
of
and the
those
art separate. Yeah, exactly. If he's like I just want to say a few things about the recent election, I'll be like, no, Phil, don't. Like, Phil, I don't know how to put this. I enjoy Pantera's music, but you are time has shown that you're not really a good person. So please shut up. Do us a solid and just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that'll be cool because I've never seen Pantera before live. I had the whatever that live album was that came out in the early 2000s. There's
Yeah.
definitely some jams, some good ones. Cowboys from Hell, This
What if
Love.
they played
I think
all,
I like.
What if they played all pre-Cowboys from Hell? All of their glam rock stuff. Only glam rock. Because Cowboys from Hell, I'm not even kidding. I think that's their 5th album, which is absurd to think of. I think.
Well, that's the
I think
one
it's
that
their
I
5th
definitely
album, technically.
knew of when it came out. but
Well, right.
Far Beyond Driven, obviously, like that.
Far Beyond Driven, I was introduced more to, and then went backwards to Cowboys from Hell. But yeah, I mean, they definitely had the very distinct sound that at that time when I was getting into heavier stuff as like a teenager, those low tuned guitars and like the groove metal kind of genre that they came up with, where you're just like, yeah, it's so good. So yeah, I'm
All the
excited to see them.
harmonics and the weird shit.
I do really want to see Ice Nine Kills. They actually opened for Metallica the last time I saw Metallica, but we missed them because we got to the show and missed their opening act. So I'm actually excited to see Ice Nine Kills.
Now, are they? Are they kind of like an Iron Maiden-y, a modern Iron Maiden-y type, like very more like metal? Or are they more like death?
They're like more like metalcore.
No. Yeah, that's the one. That's what I was thinking of. Metalcore. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and so Very interesting band. I learned about them being on Chris DeMake's a podcast, and because the lead singer used to be in a ska band, evidently, or actually maybe even Ice Nine Kills used to be one. But they have first album I got introduced to them is they have an album that's every song is based on an 80s like horror slasher movie. Like they write songs kind of in like the realm of like Friday the 13th, and one on like there's one, I think it's called American Nightmare. I think that's about, yeah, The American Nightmare by Ice Nine Kills.
Well, the cover of their Spotify
like,
has that. Isn't this like the what's the movie? The clown thing? What is it? The
Terrorizer.
Terrorizer, yeah.
That's Art the Clown from Terrorizer.
Yeah,
so, yeah, so like they do like gimmicky stuff, but I'm like, you want to know what? Like in metal, you can do that kind of stuff. And they recently released a song. They recently released a cover of Katrina and the Waves, Walking on Sunshine. It's them and Real Big Fish. So I love the fact that like they still like associate with it, and it's literally, it sounds exactly what you'd think, like where it's like, okay, so it's a, and the music video also plays to the fact that it's in American Psycho. So the music video is all about like it looks all like American Psycho-y, and it sounds like a metal band and a ska band covering an 80s boppy song. Like it's phenomenal. What a delight. So I'm excited to see them because I really like them as an artist. I'm not too, I haven't really gone a ton into their catalog, but just everything I know about them is just very intriguing. So I'm excited to see a show put on by them.
Let me see if I can get I'd love to get a little clip of this Walking on Sunshine.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. Let's share it, fam. Let's see. Ice Nine Kills and Real Big Fish. Wow, what a cut up of your fave.
I just can't wait till the day when you knock on my door. Now every time I go for the mailbox, I gotta hold myself down.
All right. You get to the chorus,
I'm walking on sunshine. I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa. I'm walking on sunshine.
Whoa. I am down to feel good. I like the what's that thing called in ska where they bop da 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 bop ba, like almost the step, like the almost the offbeat. I don't know what that is. I like that. It always like ba da 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 da. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying, but I do like it. It's very Real Big Fish. Maybe I'm just thinking exactly that. I was like, what does that sound like? What's that thing called? And it's just called Real Big Fish. I think that's what I'm
called Real Big Fish.
Yeah.
But that was their first. That's really their first release of anything they've done since the pandemic. So I was really excited that song came out because it makes me think that they still got something left in the tank. So we shall see.
Wow, well, what a program we're in store for.
I know. It's going to be interesting though for a 2-day set. I'm really curious to see what stuff we're going to hear. Like, I'm very, very curious.
I'm definitely the type where I look sort of see what they have been playing. I mean, at this point, I've seen a lot of songs live. I've probably seen them like 10 times, Metallica. The last time I saw them was in either San Antonio. Yeah, I think it was in San Antonio. It was them in Avenged Sevenfold and somebody else. I don't remember, but...
I remember that tour.
And that was probably the Hardwired, whatever.
Volbeat,
that
maybe?
Tour. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, I mean, see, this one for me is like, I would want to hear new songs. So it's like, there's like that delicate balance of people that are going to go there. Especially, I'm also going to go to the one in Syracuse with our buddy Mark. Because that's going to be, I think Syracuse is in April. When's ours? June?
End of May. No,
Memorial Day.
weekend.
That's right. So, and that's only one show, but they haven't been to Syracuse in like 30-something years. So I think since
that's
it's a
wild.
one-nighter and they haven't been there in so long, it'll probably be more of like a greatest hits deal. You know, one of those. Whereas in Philly, since it's 2 nights, and people are going to that are probably a little more hardcore in terms of fanditude. They might do some of the deeper tracks. But they play most of their songs live at some point now, so you can catch some Orions out there, you know, out in the wild.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. You can catch some Through the Never. You know, once in a while they'll drop some of these. But they'll throw in the old favorites. We only have to hear Enter
the
Sandman once.
Merciful Fate medley. I want the Merciful Fate medley. Yeah. I'm not kidding. I fucking love that melody.
That'd be great.
That medley. Dude,
Garage
it's so
Inc.
good.
Garage Inc. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know how to push
complete
that.
Garage Inc. Yeah.
I just want to see 2 albums worth of covers. Yeah. Right. Bread Fan. Play Bread Fan.
See, they do that. I mean, once in a while. They've had recent
they?
tours where they did that, or the Prince or something like that. Some of those covers. Man, now we're in the weeds.
I don't know what any of this shit is, and I'm fucking scared.
People are like, why are you guys talking about this? When it's Metallica, like, what are you?
What's your
into?
What's your fit situation going to be? I haven't thought about it. I know you haven't either. I'm just thinking, like, what are you? Are you a wear the band shirt to the show?
I have no problem with it. I don't know that I will, but I would never give a shit if someone wants to. I mean, because people buy shirts all the time there and put on the tour shirt while they're there, like that they just bought. I don't care what people wear.
What about the guy who wears a different band who's not playing at all? Like the guy who wears a Megadeth shirt to a Metallica show just to be like, I have to come here. But
I've been that guy. I've worn I've worn band T-shirts of bands I'm not seeing. So wait, if you can't wear a band T-shirt of what you're not seeing, and you can't wear a band T-shirt of the band you are seeing, what am I supposed to wear? Like shirt and tie?
Titties.
Because I'd be okay with that too.
I don't know. I kind of like almost more the wear the different band, so that if you can connect with somebody, like what if I wear my Band of Horses shirt to the Metallica show?
Ooh,
and people are like, what the
I agree
fuck?
with that.
Like,
all right. So wearing non-genre shirts, I agree. Because if someone gives you props, you're like, hey friend, like I should wear a ska band shirt and just see if anyone's like, yo, like your shirt. And it's like, oh, thanks, buddy. You can like more than one genre. It's okay.
Is it?
I mean, yeah, it is.
You're probably gonna wear a zip-up hoodie with some checkered shorts and I don't know.
Actually, while on vacation,
your Newsies hat.
Someone did appreciate my Cantina band shirt that says "Defend Ska Punk." The guy came up to me and started talking about ska punk, and yeah, so that was like a little achievement for me. And I was also wearing checkerboard sunglasses at the time, so yeah, I do exude sometimes the ska vibe.
You know, it's weird. I think in this, I used to have so many band T-shirts. I remember in the mid 2000s, and now I have a couple. I only have one Metallica T-shirt now, and I've had it since like mid 2000s, and it's still held up. But it's just the one of it's got like the orange like flaming skull going across. It's the one that I think Jason wears in Cunning Stunts or something like that.
Is it a long sleeve
version of it? Yeah, yeah. And I love it. I've always had it, and it's not like deteriorated, so maybe I'll bring that one. But I keep wanting to get a new Metallica shirt, but I don't want it to look new. That's the only problem, because once you get that new Master Puppet shirt or whatever, and you're like, fuck, now I got to break it in for 8 years.
That's really tough. The Master Puppets and Ride the Lightning shirts are very plentiful now. I mean, you can even at Target, you can get the plain black with the
at Marshalls, they're
white font.
Kohl's.
Yeah. Whatever though, dude. Like, I've never been one for tour shirts. I did have a Summer Sanitarium tour shirt for years, that I got at Toronto. But yeah, I don't know. I'm very picky with like band shirts and stuff like that. So know. We'll see. We'll see. Merch booths are so expensive now, though, too.
They are.
Merch booths. It used to be merch booths where you got cheap things. Now merch booths are the most expensive things. Like, now it makes more sense for me to just go online and try to find something because the merch booths are expensive. It used to be, yo, go get an album or whatever at the show because like albums were $10 for a CD where the store might charge 15, 20, and t-shirts pretty standard used to be $20 for a long time. $20 for a t-shirt, maybe $40 for a hoodie. Dude, now hoodies? Are you kidding me?
Like
Hoodies
$80.
at merch booths, $80. It's so absurd. I'm like, what is this made out of? I'm not paying you $80 for this hoodie.
If it was kind of like you know what I always regretted. So when I saw Metallica at Bonnaroo in 2008, at the merch tent there was a shirt that said Metallaroo, like from Bonnaroo, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I was like, oh, let's come back and get it later. Or it was like $50, and I was like, oh fuck, I don't want it. And I was like, you know what? Let's go get it. And I went back, gone, and I was like, fuck, of course it is.
Ooh,
and now it's like I'm not gonna be able to buy that
stings.
one again, you know.
That
So
stings a little.
If there was merch that was like sort of geared towards that show or the spot, like there might be, like Metallica's big enough where they might have like some kind of Eagles or Philly related like kind of or stadium deal because they do posters and shit too.
Green Day did that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Green Day did it with a poster that was like the Phillies 70s look where it's like the powder blue and maroon. You ever see the Philadelphia Phillies powder blue and maroon combo?
Very classy.
They had that as a poster and said Green Day, and I'm like, if that was a T-shirt, even though I'm not a Phillies fan, if that was a T-shirt, I would buy that. I'm like, but I don't need a poster. I have nowhere to put it. I mean, I guess I could
sometimes
hang it up downstairs. I could frame it and hang it.
Yeah. God, posters. Well, sometimes they'll do like, and if it's in a big city, like a major market, they might do like a little pop-up shop or something in town for the weekend, so people can go there and get stuff. But fuck, posters, sure. I just had like a flashback to Hot Topic and like looking at the wall of band shirts and shit like that.
Just go in the back left corner. Just look at the band shirt. Or I was thinking like Record Town and FYE where you go in the back left corner and flick through the posters.
Posters, dude. Poster life. I mean, I do. Obviously, I still love. I mean, it'll never be a game that I give up. Random pictures and posters and shit that I hang up on my wall. I don't put them on the ceiling anymore, but
my mom gave me back my Rage Against the Machine tapestry. Remember when I had like getting tapestries instead of posters? I had a master one. I had a Master of Puppets one. It was either Master or Ride the Lightning. Now I'm trying to think of which one it was. And yeah, no, I think it was Master. But yeah, I don't know where some of my tapestries went, but I liked those too.
Yeah, I definitely had some of those. Man, that's fun. Those were fun days. Maybe that's why I like to buy that shit. But I think I mentioned on the last pod, I like experiences and to like have a physical token, even if I'm gonna wear it. I don't necessarily just need something, but if I'm gonna wear a shirt or something that has a band or a place, like I want to have a story about it, kind of.
Okay.
So, who else is going with us, by the way? I don't know if I know.
We have 3 tickets, and because the other ticket is being split, Caitlin is going to go to the Sunday show, the second show, and brother Brian is going to come down for the first show. Yeah.
That is excellent.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Has Caitlin ever seen Metallica?
She has not. That's why she wanted to make sure that she could go, but she didn't need the full-fledged 2-night affair. Sure. So then my brother was like, oh, I don't know if I can swing like the whole weekend, and I'm like, oh, that's perfect then. I'm like, if you want one of the, I'm like, I'll just buy the ticket and then you guys can split it. You go one night, you go the other night. So that
wow, and then fine. We get 2 different concert experiences as well. That'll be weird.
It's true. It's damn true.
One night we will mosh like crazy, and the other we will babysit Brian. One of my favorite, I don't think I ever told you, my Metallica concert experiences was at ACL Austin City Limits in like 2018 or something like that. But I was with Brett and Sarah and probably a bunch of other people, but Sarah had never seen him, but I don't know if I could say it. It's okay. She was she was on Molly, probably.
Ah.
Hey Sarah, if you want me to take this off, just tell me to take it off. I will. But she was like really feeling it, like vibing, like. But it's like it is like if you've never seen him before and you don't know the songs, if nothing else, it's very like percussive and like there's a lot going on. And it's like it's really a wall of sound, and it's like holy fuck. And I know the songs, so I could know them. But if you're just like, especially, so she was like, I mean, it was probably the drugs, but she was like real. I remember she was like grabbing Brett like our arms, and she was just like woo, just like yelling and shit, and she was like so into it. And it really made it for me because we were like. Because we didn't go up front, because I've already done like front row or very close to it on stages and shit, so I don't need to do that. We can stay back here and chill. But her being that into it made it really exciting for me.
There you go.
Just because it was like, and it's not like I would expect her to be like, this is the greatest thing. I mean, but just the fact that I can kind of get that way too with live music. I mean, it's just awesome. It makes you feel shit. And I kind of feel dorky whenever I say that. Like, what's your favorite music? I'm like, live music. And I give a lot of grace to a lot of bands in terms of like quality or talent just because they're out there doing it. And, you know, it's really fun to experience it and see it. So,
yeah. I generally like small, intimate bands. Like, I like that live music probably more than going to I don't know, like, there's some bands I like I've seen perform live and I'm like I got nothing. And actually, sorry for anyone who likes them, but last time I saw Metallica, Greta Van Fleet opened for them, or Greta Van Fleet, and I'm like I don't understand. I'm like this is not my ish.
Led Zeppelin 2.0.
Like, yeah, but no, more like Led Zeppelin tryhards. Like it felt like that was too much. I don't know. I just no, it wasn't for me.
Never seen them.
But like small venues and stuff, like I love, like, you know, there's two types of people. There's people that sit down at a restaurant on like a given night, and when you see someone come up and start setting up, like you see guys come in with like guitar cases and kits, and you go, oh, fuck me. A band's going to start playing. I just want to eat dinner. And then there's the, you're either that person or you do the, oh, nice. Like, oh, music. Yeah. Like, so I'm always the, oh, nice, music. Like, I like going to small places and like having bands play. It's very rare that I'd be like, wow, I really wish you would stop. It's the only way I'm going to really ask you to stop is if you're playing covers and you're not able to play the cover. Like, if you suck, if you're just not good, I want you to stop. Because, like, you're ruining the cover. You can cover songs that I don't even like, but if you're good at it, awesome. Like, the only way I want you to stop is if you're playing covers and you're doing a bad job of it. Then maybe just don't do music at all. Or at least
That's true. I'm trying to think. I can't...
Because if you're playing originals, yeah. Awesome. I'll take it all day, every day. Like, that doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I enjoy it because I'm like, oh, wow, I really like what this person's trying to do. It's playing covers poorly.
There was this one girl that, because we were lucky when we lived in Austin, most of the time you went out, it was just too many people that were too good at music. So most of the time it was like,
I'm sure,
you'd rarely run into something that wasn't worth listening to. But there was this one girl that was sort of in a tangential group of friends, but I don't know who told her she could sing or do something, but she would. It was like the vocals were just the worst, and she would do this thing like, and it was like, I'm not far off. I'm barely exaggerating, like the quality. And she had an album release party and shit, and I think I still have that album in my car because I got it to support her. But I've never listened to it. If I did, it was maybe in the car to just have a laugh to see how it sounded. But I don't, But even then, see, I still went and I still bought the merch. I still have a story about it. And
it sounded like a what's her face from the Cranberries, Dolores O'Riordan.
Oh yeah, but not good. Yeah,
but not yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a bummer. It's a bummer. It's a bummer when you find the hidden gem of shit music and you go like, I have nothing positive to say about what's happening right now. I'm sorry. Can you just not?
Well, look at us making plans. We're living life. That's what we do. We live life.
Mm-hmm. That's in May. That's like over 7
So
months
far
away
ahead.
still. And I got the
Yeah.
tickets like last month.
I'm gonna be a whole new age at that point.
Samesies.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're gonna be freshly 42'd. We're both gonna be Jackie Robinson. We're gonna be the Jackie Robinson of age. I don't know what that is, but
Yeah, that's a really weird thing to say, but yeah, I mean, breaking down barriers of age.
or the Mariano Rivera, whatever.
There you
Either
go.
way.
All right.
So, 1990.
1990.
you like to know? About 1990.
Good news. I have some stuff about 1990.
You do. Then let me just ask you,
Yeah.
which Ernest movie is from 1990?
Oh. Wait, are you really asking, or did you know?
I don't know. I'm just wondering which Ernest movie is from. There's got to be one.
Probably Ernest Goes to Jail. All right, hold on. Hold on. Let's check Ernest movies. Let's see. My guess is Ernest Goes to Jail is 1990. Let's see what comes up. Films.
Hey, Jeff.
Oh God.
Ernest Goes to Jail. Yes.
Oh my God.
Got it on the dot.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Oh my God, dude.
That's so bad.
I was just
All
like,
right.
I thought that's the way it was gonna go on that first one. We were like, oh, Ernest this, and I was like, oh shit, there's gonna be like 5 years of Ernest movies that I was gonna mention.
Oh, wow. Jim Varney's all around us. There's Jim Varney in all of us. So, 1990. So yeah, we'll jump into movies first. So, lot of different stuff. Big blockbuster. Huge year for movies. You have movies. The number one. Am I reading that right? So, because I wrote this for our last one.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I think I see. So yeah. Number one in the box office I have is Ghost.
What, really?
So the Sways,
Swayze and Demi Moore.
Yeah.
That was 1990, huh?
Yeah. The
Very sensual.
biggest thing though is that you have other huge ones: Pretty Woman, Dances with Wolves, Total Recall, but Home Alone is there. So Home Alone was 1990.
That's it. That's the one.
Speaking of which, technically today is a holiday called Christopher Columbus, but the real OG Chris Columbus is the guy who directed Home Alone. So that's
Isn't
pretty
it?
good. That's a pretty good segue.
Isn't it fucking Jonathan
John
Hughes?
It's not. No,
Yeah.
John Hughes gave
Produced
it
it?
to Chris Columbus. Yeah, he produced it. Chris Columbus
shit.
is the director.
Wait, so are you saying somebody else already had it and then Christopher Columbus just took it?
Ah,
Is that what you're
I
saying?
like
Is that what you're saying?
I like that.
Yeah.
John Hughes was the indigenous director. I'm not sure that works
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So
Happy Indigenous
we got
Directors Day.
the world didn't get introduced to Macaulay Culkin, but Macaulay Culkin took the world by storm with that because I believe Uncle Buck was a year earlier, and that's where Macaulay Culkin was in the movie Uncle Buck. So it wasn't the debut of Culkin, but this is really where he took the reins. It's still a great movie. I have no problems with it. I like that there's lore around it, like the fan theories of what Kevin's dad does that makes him being able to afford to take like extended family and pay for them all to go to Paris. People saying that he's like a mob guy in Chicago. A lot of different fan theory stuff that surrounds Home Alone, and I love it. It's not that it's actually real. It's just fun to talk about nonsensical fan theory stuff. So that was big. But also, 2 massive movies in the top 10 of box office. And that's Die Hard 2 and Back to the Future Part 3.
Okay.
2 sequels.
Back to the Future
So
goes
is this,
west.
like, we are obsessed. When I say we, I mean lazy shit-eating Hollywood writers are obsessed with just being like, let's just fucking remake this. Let's just make a sequel to this. Let's just fucking not try and see what people will pay for. I wonder, so like 1990 had 2 sequels, one being a third of a series with Back to Future 3. I wonder if that was like the first year where it's like, we're rehashing stuff. You know, we're just, people want to see more Marty McFly. Well, I mean, I don't think that really counts because Back to the Future clearly was set up. The whole premise is a 3-legged adventure.
Mhm.
But like Die Hard 2, John McClane
the action
really
movie
shouldn't
sequel.
have. John McClane should not have had another movie. Folks,
That's
I'm going
probably
to
the
be honest
Rambo
with you.
thing.
I'm going to be
Rambo,
honest with
Rocky.
you, folks. I think we've already talked about it. Die Hard isn't as good as you want it to be. All right, America, it's not. John McClane takes a backseat to a lot of other action guys. It's just not. It's just not that good. So this led to
I don't
Die
even
Hard.
think I remember seeing Die Hard 2. I think I've seen what Die Harder Tomorrow over again
Die Most
more than I've
Hardly.
seen Die Hard 2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
Like one of those deals.
There was also
Four.
a movie called Presumed Innocent. Have you seen this
That
movie?
sounds sexy. Is that one of those?
Okay, weird. It's a Harrison Ford movie, which I find funny because it's like him on the run, and I feel like we already have Harrison Ford in The Fugitive.
He's constantly
but we
on the
also
run.
have Harrison Ford in Presumed Innocent. So I've
For some
never
reason-
seen the movie. I found out about it during this research, so I'm kind of curious about it.
There's a lot of these movies in the early 90s that you never have another time. They're not sequels. They're not part of a series, but they're just these kind of sexy thrillers that always have like a big star or maybe a big couple. And I don't know what they're about, any of them, but they're all kind of blend into the same movie for me. You know, it's like, Presumed Innocent, The Pelican Brief. I don't know, like A Few Good Men, like all these movies. Some Basic Instinct, like probably some kind of Michael Douglas movie that I can't think about. Like all these movies that are kind of sexy and just one-offs. But there was a big era for that, of just these just very sweaty, sexy people. That's how I think of it.
1990
And I don't know.
was
The
not,
movies are all different, but I don't know.
1990 was not immune from comic book and superhero movies and stuff. In fact, the top 10 had 2 comic book movies in 1990. 2 comic book movies had cracked the top 10 most grossing movies of the year.
Dick Tracy.
That is correct. That was number 9. Dick Tracy. I mean, listen, as a 7-year-old, there was nothing funnier than a movie being popular and having the word dick in it. I mean,
And it was
boy,
marketed
talk
to
about-
children, even though was it a rated R?
I think, like, I remember watching it once and being like, I don't understand even what I'm watching.
No, it's not a good watch if you're a kid. It was cool.
No.
All the villains were cool because they all had makeup and shit, so there was like aesthetically pleasing.
But that's where it, like, that's
Yeah.
all I think I wanted.
But it wasn't a
to
good
see.
movie, I don't think. Like I had a Dick Tracy watch, I think, a fake one that I got from
Yeah.
Kmart
Yeah, I don't.
as a reward for cleaning my room. Also a reward for cleaning my room that year, getting to see Home Alone in the theater. There's a lot of 1990 was a big year for cleaning my room. I know that.
Dick Tracy was PG. It was PG.
Oh. Well, growing up in my house, PG might as well have been rated R. So, it was that next
Now-
level.
Do you know what the other comic book movie was?
I cracked the top 10.
Number 4 on the box office.
What?
And I'm going to give you a little insight to it too.
Is it one of the Supermans?
It
We already talked
also-
about Batman.
It also gave us the Toy of the Year in 1990.
Toy of the Year.
Cowabunga, motherfucker.
Oh, TMNT.
Yeah. Yep, we
You,
got the
you consider that
Turtles
you
live.
consider that a comic book movie?
It's based on a comic book, Matt.
Is Turtles a comic first?
Turtles was a comic first.
No shit. Do we know this for sure?
Sorry, boss, but there's only two men I trust. One of them's me, the other's not you.
So fucking bad. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a 1990 American superhero film based on the comic book characters. Yes.
Yeah, but like a TV comic.
All right, that's enough by you. But yeah, it also gave us the Toy of the Year. So I definitely had a couple turtles. I remember someone, we didn't have it, but I remember like the badass thing was to be a kid and if you own like the Technodrome.
Yep.
That was pretty badass. Every kid identified with a Ninja Turtle for some odd reason. I mean, I guess it's a personality thing, but it's very weird to like that was your first like kids liked Batman and Superman and stuff like that. But kids would say like I'm Leonardo. Oh, you're Michelangelo. Like you identified as them, not like your favorite. It was like you felt like a connection with that. I always liked to gravitate towards Raphael. And I know my brother Brian was a big Donatello guy. Now for you, if I had to like, if I'm reading your, you know, like giving you a palm reading, but less reading palm and more reading you as a human and what turtle you'd be, I gotta say, I think you are, this is really important.
This is hard.
Yeah, it is. I think you're a Leonardo. They don't come around often, but I think you're a Leonardo.
You know what? I was, but because it was blue. But I actually had a Donatello figure.
Okay.
But Leonardo was my favorite because I was like, yeah, I'm Leonardo. I don't know why. Because he had two swords and he wore blue. And that's as complex as it got, really.
Yep. It introduced us to the Psy. No
Plus
one
I'm
knew
the
what
leader.
a Psy was. No, you don't really see Psys a lot in combat movies. Poor Raphael had Psys.
Yeah, nunchucks were never cooler.
No.
That's for sure.
No. Big nunchuck year in
Mikey's.
1990.
Mikey. Yeah, they called him Mikey in that.
Yeah.
April, babe. Splinter, really scary looking.
Yeah, in the first movie, absolutely. Splinter was terrifying. They kind of like toned him down a little bit in the second one, a little bit more fan friendly. Secret of the Ooze was, let's be honest, Secret of the Ooze was the real, you know, that Secret of the Ooze got the D2 treatment kind of, you know, where it's like Mighty Ducks 1 was good. It's the origin story, a little bit rough around the edges. And then D2 was like, yeah, everything's like, like D2 is same with Back to the Future and Back to the Future 2. The sequel is where they really got fan friendly with in the 90s.
Solid pulls. Also one from, I mean, we don't have to talk about him, but Hard to Kill, Marked for Death. Two Segal classics.
Sure, Segal movies. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Love when he's just going out there killing Jamaican guys and Marked for Death, Jamaican hoodlums, gangs.
You know what? The best thing with like Steven Seagal movies is that he always had really cool names for his character. They were never like simple. They're always just kind of like cool names.
My chair's falling. Oh no, I'm stuck.
All right, and you figure that out. So 1990.
Casey Ryback, I remember from Under Siege.
Hard to Kill. He was Mason Storm. Like that's really
Holy
cool.
fuck.
Above the Law, he was Nico.
You know
Toscani.
he picked that out.
Oh yeah, Mason Storm. Yeah, Casey Ryback.
Man,
Gino
Mason Storm.
Out for Justice. He was Gino On Deadly Ground,
Felina.
Forrest Taft. Like, there's so many weird ones. The Patriot, Dr. Wesley McLaren. Oh,
Dude, what's his Glimmerman name?
oh man. Glimmerman was Lieutenant Jack Cole.
Jack Cole.
Ooh,
All right.
Jack Cole, I'd say. All right. Oh, other, I won't go into all of them, but other names include Orrin Boyd, Sasha Petrosevich.
Played a Russian. Nice.
Right. What a Harlan Banks, Jonathan Cold. That's a terrible name.
These are
Marsh-
like
No,
no
hold
name.
on.
These are wrestlers that get beat up.
Marshall Lawson. Marshall Lawson. There's no way he didn't do that on purpose.
Dude. Gino Felino, though, that's pretty tight. Mason Storm.
So good.
Those are great.
Not a ton in music that stood out to me. I don't know if you did any music research. Not a ton in music that stood out. Cowboys from Hell, we had mentioned the aforementioned album, really turning point and groundbreaking album for Pantera. A couple that I had on cassette, or at least my family had on cassette. One, CNC Music Factory, Gonna Make You Sweat.
Yeah.
I mean, burn, 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 burn. So that and things that make you go, things that make you go, So CNC Music Factory, delightful.
Hammerman.
I think Hammer did have an album. I don't remember. I don't think it was Hammer Time. I think it was something else at this point. But another weird one, Simpsons Sing the Blues. It was the first musical album put out by The Simpsons. Now, mind you, The Simpsons are only in their second season at this point. So, pretty interesting that The Simpsons had a musical album. And, of course, included Do the Bartman, which was like
that's the one. There's the cut.
A popular thing in America was to do the Bartman.
Do the Bartman.
Yep. Everybody, if you can, do the Bartman. Yeah. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'd probably the most listened to one I had Alice in Chains, Facelift. That was a big one. There's some Jane's Addiction, Social Distortion kind of stuff that I probably had some times with. I think on the hip hop side, Big Tribe album, Ice Cube, something like that. I probably had heard, but yeah, interesting, very diverse year. Paul Simon, I think, probably had a record that year. That was big.
I mean, that's probably an assumption.
Sinead O'Connor
Graceland came out that year.
Sinead O'Connor that year.
Oh. I'm just making sure it wasn't Graceland because that's such a.
I would say, arguably, though, the
Graceland's
most important
86.
thing.
Yeah.
To come out in 1990 in the United States.
Yeah.
Was Super Mario Brothers 3 for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
And the show. The Adventures
Mario
of Super
show?
Mario Brothers. No, the sequel to the Mario Brothers Super Show. It was called Adventures of Super Mario Brothers 3.
No, I don't even know that. Mm-hmm. I've gone through the YouTube vortexes of the Mario Brothers show, the Super Show, before.
Right, so this
Just
is
leave
when
it
they
on all
bailed.
night.
This is when Captain Lou was no longer, there was no longer the live action portion of it. It was just the cartoon, but
Just
it
the
was so
animation?
good because it had, because if you notice, the first iteration, the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, didn't have any of the Mario 3 characters. It was very, very basic, the cartoon portion of it. This was nice because it introduced all of the characters that we got introduced to in Super Mario 3, which, for those of you that don't keep track of Nintendo games over the last 45 years, a lot of the characters that were introduced in Super Mario 3 are still all, they're all there. That's kind of been the core of the Mario universe. So yeah, the game and the show, dope.
It had that map. I mean, everything about it, like the top-down map where I remember blowing my mind, you don't have to go to that level next.
Peak
and
Nintendo.
there's little card games pop up, little puzzles, the warps, the item management. secrets. Like, it had it all. Plus the aesthetic, the color, the movement, the control. Like, I mean, I was real bad at it.
Arguably the best Nintendo game ever.
And I don't know if you ever knew this. So the reason I was able to play Nintendo early on, probably in that year, was because my neighbor had it. And I used to call him neighbor. His name's actually Bernie. And he was probably like, I don't know if you remember them, Sue and Bernie, or next door on Nelson Street. But they lived together. They were brother and sister.
If I'm looking at the front of your house, they were to the left.
On the right side, it was a yellow house. Yeah. So if you're looking at it, it's on the right. They had a pool.
Oh, okay.
As well.
Yes. Oh yeah. I do remember the pool because I think I came over. I think we went swimming in their pool once.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yes, I do remember them now.
Yeah. A lot of my video game experience was with him, and he like lived in the attic. It had all the recipe for me to get touched. Like a guy who was 30 years older than me or something like that, inviting me over to the house he lives in with his sister and his mom. Never has just kind of like works at a newsstand. Just plays video games. Has like an Elvira cardboard cutout in his attic, that kind of thing. But really good dude. Like he would teach me like how to play it, and he'd be like, "No, you don't stop. You're moving the controller. Move. Just use the button. Don't move the controller."
There's nothing less frustrating than less frustrating than teaching a child how to play a video game.
I know. But yeah, he would show it to me, and that's like was my first kind of taste of it, and then eventually acquired a Nintendo, all that. But yeah, I remember just seeing in that room, just fucking seeing that game and being like, "What the fuck is this?" This is because I've seen regular Mario, and now this is literal space age shit. I was like, this is the future. This is everything right now. I remember there was merch for it. I was like, I can't believe what I've seen. I can't believe this is the world that we get to live in. Part of it, I will never have this. That was in my brain too. Like, I will never have this access to this. I will never have a Super Mario Bros. 3 in my life.
Right? This is
how would
so
I? I'm a
fancy.
child. I don't have money. Yeah, I don't have. Yeah. But now I can play it anytime I want to, and I don't. I don't know why.
I saw a few cartoons that I wanted to mention too, because I don't know if you watch these cartoons or what have you, but some debuts. Bobby's World, where we got really Howie Mandel.
A lot of Fox 68 after school.
Yep. Tiny Toon Adventures.
Yes.
Big fan.
Those came out the same. I remember. That's right. I recorded it when I came home from school. I remember it was going to turn on. That was Batman the Animated Series the same year too.
Ooh, I don't believe I saw that on there.
But I remember when Tiny Toons came on, my mom recorded it, and we would come home just to make sure we would had it ready to go when we got home from school.
So good.
We watched the fuck out of Tiny Toons.
Bobby's World was different. Bobby's World, I don't remember, it was like that, and like Life of Louie always made me go, I'm like, what am I watching? Or I'm like, why are these
almost
comedians
too adult.
having like, like, I'm like, why these comedians have like cartoons that are allegedly for kids, but I don't think that they are for kids. Not that they're
like Howie
vulgar,
Mandel's.
but like,
was that Bobby's World?
Yeah, Bobby World was Howie Mandel's, and Life with Louie was Louie Anderson. But like, it was the same premise where it's like they're playing a kid version of themselves, but like Howie Mandel also played Bobby's dad. I don't know, but yeah, they were good. They were good. And then I had a question for you because I don't understand the history of the NHL as much. It said 1990. There was a specific date I can't recall, but I think it was like January 20th, somewhere around there. And it said it was the first broadcast of the NHL on a major network since the 1980 Stanley Cup.
No shit, really.
In the 80s, what the fuck was hockey played on? If it wasn't played on like
a lot of it was all regional.
Broadcasting.
It was on like I watched a lot of Bruins because it was on like WSBK or Nesson, but in Auburn, Cablevision for some reason they got WSBK. So it was all like locally, regionally distributed. So you'd have to watch it. You wouldn't be able to watch like national games, I don't think.
Oh, like it just
was
none. There was no national games.
I think like ESPN though, because I don't think they would be considered a
true.
Like
okay.
I think ESPN had some of it. But yeah, it must have been on ABC, and probably with the game growing. I mean, by '90, it was probably arguably. I mean, I think the NHL now in the last 5 years, since the last strike or whatever, or lockout, has grown to be as big as it has been in a long time. And I think they've marketed it well. It's more, they're not trying to get everybody now. They're just trying to get the right people, the people that would be interested in it. They catch with it. But I think in the 80s, like when Gretzky blew up in the 80s, when he got traded to LA in 1988, I think that kind of like blew the game up. And then it probably started to get, that national attention.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, I didn't know that, but it makes sense. I mean, yeah, you'd have to watch
Yeah.
like WGN to watch the Chicago Blackhawks games, or you'd have to,
Huh.
I don't know if MSG was around for the Rangers back then or something similar, but it probably, WIPX, I don't know, one of those like things. that
Oh
you
man,
gotta,
remember WPIX?
Saturday matinee? Yeah.
That was like our Warner Brothers type channel.
Yeah.
WPIX.
Well, shit. All right. And so that was a segment called 1990, where we talk about stuff from 1990 on episode 90. You'll never guess what's next. It'll be kind of interesting because it's becoming more formative, like in terms of like stuff I'm actually remembering, experiencing for the first time.
Right. Yeah, I'm trying like movies. It's easier. You can kind of talk about big encompassing things, but like TV shows, I'm kind of more going what I remember in my childhood. So not Pantera, Cowboys from Hell, but rather growing up and understanding.
True.
But like I said, The Simpsons Sing the Blues and CC Music Factory, we had those cassettes in hand.
True.
But
I got you.
Yeah.
Sensible. All right. Well, that'll do it.
It will.
Hey, everybody treat yourself well. And
as of right now, as the recording of this, or hopefully when you're listening to this, hopefully the Yankees are not like 0-2.
what do we like the Yanks tonight? Prediction. Yanks at home against the Cleveland Guardians. the
Prediction, pain. I do think that they are capable of winning tonight, and that would be really neat to start off the 7.
I think the Yankees will win 10-1.
Wow, that is a very interesting prediction.
So you can just say it. You can just say whatever you want.
I'm gonna say, fuck it. Let's say the Yankees win 5-3.
Yeah. In 17 innings.
Interesting. Well, okay.
Yeah, plus we got the Bills Jets. What a hot night for sports.
Ah, yes, and then there's football.
Just think none of this would happen if we didn't have indigenous persons.
Godspeed, you indigenous people.
More than me.